Welcome to the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth. I'm your host, Kenneth.
And I'm your host, Kenneth.
Today's episode is 5 truths about parents who disappear and why it still hurts. What are your initial thoughts about this topic, Kenny?
I'm sure there's a lot more than 5, but let's hear them.
Absolutely. Let's discuss the 5 truths about parents who disappear and why, and how it can still affect you many years later, and in some cases for the rest of your life. We'll talk about how to cope with such a sensitive issue. Of course, there's no easy answers, but we're going to just talk it through anyway.
All right.
Now, let's start with why some parents leave their children and families. Number one, they're afraid of responsibility and commitment. What are your thoughts on that, Kenny?
Yeah, that's an easy one. A lot of people, think about that future and that fear, and it makes them bounce.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't make sense that a person will sleep with someone and then when they get pregnant, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I really didn't like that person. It's like, well, if you really didn't like that person, why'd you get pregnant? Or why did you impregnate her? Right?
Right.
And or or some will be like, you know what, I can't afford it, or I'm not ready to be a parent. Well, guess what? When the kids are on the way, you don't have a choice. All right. Number two, fear of growing up, the lifelong party. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, don't want to let go of that lifestyle, man.
Absolutely. Some people want to have a lifelong party. They want to stay young. We've all seen people that were older and dressed like they're younger, use all the slang, 70 years old. Tomorrow, that's cap. And oh, that's cap. And it's like, what in the world is going on here? Some people try to hold on to their youth, or you've seen some women at the club that were in their 50s or 60s, or or in some cases 70s, trying to dress like how a female would dress in her 20s, trying to hang on to that youth. So when they have responsibility, they're like, no, I don't want this party to stop. And that's crazy.
Right. It's crazy.
All right. Number three, feeling trapped and bored. What are your thoughts on that, Kenny?
100%. Bored?
Yeah,
I don't know about boredom, but trapped for sure. Yeah.
Well, the bored part comes from being stuck into a family unit, right? It's boring because guess what? You can kind of predict what's going to happen. I mean, you've been married for many, many years.
Yeah.
You can kind of predict what's going to happen, right? It's not like there's a bunch of surprises popping up every day.
That's what
and
you
some
signed
people
up for.
find that, right, yeah, but some people find that boring, and it's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. All right. Number four, the I'll get it right this time. The constant start over artist. Like, for this example, a person might have a child with someone and they completely ruined everything. Then they'll say, oh, no problem. I'll just abandon them and I'll have another child with someone else and I'll do better this time.
Oof.
And then they mess up with them. And then they say, oh, let me try it again. I'll do better this time.
Do you think that's their thought process? Do you think that's what they're thinking though? Like, okay, I'm gonna go start over. I think it just happens that way. I don't think they're actually thinking about that.
Actually, I've known someone that has done that, and he said that was his thought process, was that since he messed up with his other kids, he'll just have more and he'll make it better for the next set
and abandon the other ones.
Right. Until he reached number 6 or number 7, and it's like, you know what, I think I finally got it now. And it's like, what? Yeah, man, it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Something else that makes parents leave is drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol is definitely probably one of the top reasons that people abandon their kids. And, you have to understand, even though it doesn't make it hurt any less, you got to understand that when it's drugs, we're talking about a chemical dependency. It's not as simple as just making a rational choice. Like if you're sober, when a person is on drugs or they drink alcohol and they're a real bad alcoholic, it's really hard to charge it to them. I mean, I'm not saying that they're absolved from it 100%, but it's really hard to make rational choices when you're under substance abuse, right, Kenny?
Prioritizing the addiction.
Right, exactly. Thank you. That's perfect. Prioritizing the addiction. Number 6, lack of money. What do you think about that?
That's easy. Yeah, can't
That's
afford
a very
it.
easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is why people keep having kids when they can't afford it. It doesn't make any sense. Can't you stop at one? One was an accident, okay. But, 5, I'm like, come on. Why are you having 5 kids or 10 kids and you're broke? What's wrong with you?
They can't control it.
Yeah, keep it in your pants. All right, sorry. And let's not forget the parents that are so difficult that they scare the other parent away. What do you think about that? Do you think that's valid?
That should be up there near number 2. You know, it's a lot of there's a lot of parents out there that put a stop to a lot of growth and positivity that could happen.
Right. And let's discuss also how abandonment can affect the people that are abandoned along with the kids, whether it's the spouse, the grandparents, the aunties, uncles, or friends. These are the people that are left to help pick up the pieces and help take care of these children that were abandoned.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. The grandparents.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that when you're one of the people that pick up these pieces, the kids won't always appreciate it. They won't
Right.
appreciate it, and they'll act like you did nothing.
Right.
Now, this isn't all kids, of course, but a lot, they are not grateful. So it's like, wow, what do you do? How do you handle that? Because you don't know how they're going to act, right? If they're
Right.
going to be appreciative for it. Anyway, this is a interesting fact. Kenny, check out this.
Okay.
Nicole Richie was legally adopted by singer Lionel Richie and his then wife Brenda Harvey at the age of 9. After living with them since she was a toddler, her biological parents, Karen Moss and Peter Michael Escovedo, a musician in Lionel's band, agreed to the arrangement because they were experiencing financial hardship and couldn't properly care for her. So the child was living with them ever since she was a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
The parents couldn't afford to take care of her. So they asked Lionel, could he take her? And he did. And he ended up adopting her.
That's how that happened.
Yeah. Talk about lucky.
Yeah.
Lionel, adopt me, for crying out loud. I'm like, hey, talk about catching a break. Yeah, man. But in that instance, I have to give her parents some credit, right? I mean, of
Right.
course, you shouldn't have a kid if you can't afford it and can't take care of them well. But at least they made a good choice that the kid ended up in a good situation. Not that money
yeah.
is the bottom line, right? I'm not saying that, but it takes resources to do things,
Or
right,
just
Kenny?
love, Yeah, just having the right love. It's not about
Well, I
money.
mean, yeah, don't get me started.
Come on, man.
Don't get me started, Kenny.
Come
Don't,
on. Here
don't
we
get me
go. Here we
started.
go.
Don't get me started. Okay. Let me ask you a question. All right. Since
Oh
we're being
man.
transparent.
All right. All
Yeah, that's
right.
right. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yep. All that. All that. Since we're being transparent, if you had to guess, because your child, your youngest child is a preteen, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Over the years, let's just say over the last 4 years, okay? How much money do you think you spent on her having activities, whether it was for sports or just to do whatever you wanted her to do?
All right.
How much money do you think you spent over the last 4 years?
That's a lot, man. I mean, I ain't got my calculator with me.
Just give me a wild guess.
I mean, I don't know, 6 figures.
Come on, Kenny.
6 figures, maybe.
Anyone who's watching this is going to say, what the hell, 6 figures? And this dude just said that money doesn't matter? Are you insane?
You said over the years, though, not all at one time. You're talking
Kenny,
about over.
there are people who don't spend 6 figures their kids' whole life until they're a grown-up adult. I just said 4 years. Are you serious? You're out of your mind.
All right.
That's insane, bro.
Okay, so what you saying?
Let me bring you back down to planet Earth, okay? People who are watching, okay? Kenny doesn't live on planet Earth, right? He's on a different planet. We're gonna do our best to bring him back to Earth sometime soon, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's talk about the different kinds of personality types that abandon their families and kids, okay? Number one, the bum. The bum is the person that doesn't own anything, never had anything, lives with his baby mamas, and some don't even own a car. I've never owned a car. The bum. Have you ever met or seen any bums, Ken?
I'm sure I ran across one or two. 3
Yeah,
or 4.
one or two. Yeah, exactly. That's more like it. All right. The long distance payer. They pay their child support but never see the kid. The reason is often due to the other parent making it difficult, meaning the other parent controls the narrative so they can make the parent sound like they're a complete horrible man or horrible woman. And they actually make the payments and they want to actually see their child, but their child is against them because of what the other parent said
That's
and the
common.
narrative that they created. Yeah.
That's a common
That's,
situation. Yeah.
yep. Speak on it, bro.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's common. I mean, yeah, like that's the normal situation. The long distance one, and you don't have a choice.
Absolutely. Right. The next one, number 3, the glory hound. The glory hound. They show up for any accomplishments made by their kid, even though they didn't help contribute. Any graduations, any sporting events, any spelling bees or academic
Oof.
accolades, they pop right up like they helped all along when they did absolutely nothing.
Did you just see
What are your
that
thoughts?
video? I just watched a video of the guy. I was just watching this, and he raised his daughter. It was a stepdaughter. He raised her for 17 years. And then after 17 years, the real dad showed up, and they wanted him to give up his ticket, like his graduation ticket for her college graduation or a high school graduation or something. So they wanted him to give up his ticket to the dad who was never there for 17 years. Said that they trying to put the family back together.
Wait a minute. So the child that he took care of
That he raised.
and her mother
Hmm.
wanted the stepdad who took care of her when the absentee father was gone and
Yes.
when they were probably broke and struggling. The guy who stepped in, they wanted him to give up his ticket to her graduation, which he helped her to arrive at that point.
Yeah, man. He called her on the phone and she said, What's wrong with that? He wants to be back in her life. And he said after 17 years, he just want to show up. I was like, dang. Put myself in that position. Wow.
You know what? That one ties into the next one. But before I say that, yeah, it's funny how people do that. I would have been like, you know what? No problem. I'll have the divorce papers signed up tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's insane. You want me to do all the work and then let someone else get all the glory for, who did absolutely nothing? No, I can't deal with that. That's why step parenting is so sketchy and so
Yeah.
questionable, for so many people. I'm not against step parenting. I'm a step parent too. And fortunately, I didn't have those issues.
Right.
But for so many people, it's sketchy. Um, it's a thankless job. They're most likely not going to appreciate you or your efforts. And when you're a step parent, you agree to take whatever aggression, anger, or emotional issues that the child has about being abandoned. You get to be the punching bag because you're there. The
Right.
other person isn't there. So, hey, guess what? You are. So, here, take your punch, your karate chop, your roundhouse kick, and everything, and keep on going.
Right.
And that's insane. All right.
Hmm.
Now, the next one, number 4, the groundhog, the parent that shows up after all the hard work is done. When there's work or expenses, they
Okay.
run and hide back into their little hole, just like a groundhog. And then, when all the hard work is done and all the money is spent, they pop their stupid heads out the little groundhog hole when they come back out when all the hard work is done. I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard of so many times that um, a parent comes back when the kid is over 18,
Yeah.
right?
You're right. That was just like the video I just said. Yep.
Right. They yeah,
Hmm.
they pop right back up because they know that, well, okay, they've had all their shots, they've been to the dentist, they probably had braces or aligners and yeah, everything is good, they've made it through school, so they're not going to need any MacBooks or anything like that. All the hard work is done. Now I
Right.
can just slide back in there and hey, I'm a great guy. That's insane to me. I'm like, get out of here. Okay, number 5, the deathbed apologizer. We know about those, right?
Mm.
That they're trying to make it into heaven, make it to the upper room. No, that's not how it works. You got to take care of your kids. That's insane, but that's what a lot of people do, man. They mess around and wait until they're dying to try to make things right. Listen, any of you,
Somebody told them something. Somebody told them they need to mend that relationship.
yeah, something told them, death told them. I mean, listen, for anyone out there if you're not in a good place with your kids, try to make it right. Don't wait until you're old. Don't wait until there's so much time. And I know some of you are thinking, well, you know what? The mom or the dad, right? The other parent, they're making things difficult. And we do understand that that can create problems. All right. But for those of you who don't have those problems, try to do right by your child. You created them. You made them. You brought them
Right.
here. Do what's right. Right, Kenny?
Right.
Okay. The next one is the Rolling Stone. All right.
Hmm.
The Rolling Stone is the one who is, I guess, has
Papa
lots of
was a
kids.
Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Sing it,
Wherever
Kenny.
he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, oh no, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Yo, bro. You wild, bro.
That's the
You are
jam.
wild. But yeah, the Rolling Stone is the one who has kids all over the place, and you end up having siblings over here, siblings over there. You meet people with your same features who look just like you, and your dad's out there just creating. Your dad's out there creating step parents.
Right.
That's what this idiot is doing. All right, all right. Let me stop calling people idiots. I can't help it. Sorry. All right, number 7, the guilt tripper. The guilt tripper is the one that will turn your kid against you and will then guilt trip the child when they meet you and they find out that, wow, that's not true. Everything she told me or everything he told me was not true. My other parent, they're actually a good person. And then they try to guilt trip you. You're trying to be their friend after I took care of you and I did all this to take care of you. The guilt tripper. Any
Right.
any thoughts on that?
No, you're exactly right. That
Exactly, right?
happens.
Number 8, the bully. There are parents that bully, and they try to bully their kids into not liking their parent. They intimidate them or they hold something over them so that they can keep them away from their other biological parent, and that's not right. Right, Kenny?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, the recovering alcoholic or drug addict. Now, you can't totally blame them for popping back up because, of course, if they're able to get clean and pop back up, sure, it doesn't hurt any less because you still suffered in their
Right.
absence. But I mean, what are your thoughts, Kenny?
Yeah. No, actually, so that was number 8. I thought we was doing 5, but we going.
Oh no, 5 was the first segment.
Okay.
On the second one, right?
Okay.
So, any thoughts on the recovering alcoholic or drug
Yeah.
addict?
I mean, that is a definitely, so if I'm a recovering alcoholic, when they become sober, they should try to get back into the kids. I don't think that they should be around the kids being a alcoholic still. I think sometimes
Right.
it's better for the kid to not be around an existing addict or alcoholic.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And of course, if they're clean and sober, then sure, try to make things right. Even though the kid's going to be pissed because they probably suffered, because you weren't there.
Right.
All right. The final one, number 10, the inmate coming home from prison.
Wow.
Um, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah. I'm like, what do you do? I mean,
Even though there are some real G's out there that were able to take care of their family while in jail. Of
yeah.
course, not everyone can do that or have that capability, but some have. But yeah, of course, when they get out, they should reunite with their children and try to make things work, right?
100%. Yeah.
All right. There's no easy way to overcome how you might feel about being abandoned. It's a terrible feeling and it often affects one's self esteem, their future relationships, and how they deal with their kids. It does affect things, right, Kenny?
Yes, it does.
Okay. The object is not to repeat the past and to break generational curses. One of the best approaches is to work on self improvement. Before marriage and before having kids, work on self improvement and face your feelings head on. Express your feelings and come to terms with how you're going to deal with it. Or maybe
Yeah.
go to counseling. Being abandoned affects people differently. It makes some people it makes some people become better parents,
Yeah.
and it makes some people just simply repeat what they experienced. So determine what the best course of action is for you, but get some professional help if you need it. Not all people need it. Some people are strong and they just know what to do,
Hmm.
but not everyone has that. And you need to get some professional help before you start to have a family, right, Kenny?
Yeah, they could. I mean, like you said, some people are strong enough to get through it, but abandonment is a real thing, and a lot of people are not that strong to get through it.
Absolutely. So, in closing, tell them what's up, Kenny.
Yeah, great topic today. I'm pretty sure there's something in this segment that all of us needed to hear. We all need it. We all been through something. So just know that if you think that no one else cares, we care here at the Good Parent, Bad Parent podcast by Kenneth and Kenneth.
Absolutely. Like, share, and subscribe, and watch our other videos. We'll see you
Yeah.
next time.